Hey friends, welcome to a quick tutorial of shoulder capsule tension or tightness. We're going to use a ball, a squishy ball that we can grab and hold to create tension in our forearm while we do some of these exercises today. So we're going to go through our CARs, our PAILs and rails of our shoulder and specifically our axial rotation to help alleviate capsule tension, which can lead us to having a rounded shoulder or having limitations in shoulder mobility, but also sometimes is specific to pain when it comes to engaging the rotator cuff muscles at a high speed, such as when we're tossing a ball or if we are swinging a club at a really fast pace or speed. That's going to affect our ability to control the end ranges of rotation, especially of internal rotation in our capsule. So let's go ahead and look at our exercises for today. Let's take a bench and we're going to get ourselves to bring it to about a little bit lower than chest height, just at the start of your low ends of the ribs. And we're going to get our elbow on the end of the bench. Now, we're just going to hold the ball to have something to grip on, and we're going to get ourselves to move into internal and external rotation of the axial rotation. Keeping that tension into the pad with our elbow is just going to make sure that our lat is super tight, or at least stabilizing the shoulder so that we don't let our trap start to engage. So sometimes we might notice that our opposite side is slightly elevated, and that's okay as long as we're not feeling our trap on the other side. And we're just going to come over here and do 10, 20 reps, finding mobility and exploring where it might be a bit tight. Might start to burn up a little bit in the capsule or in the shoulder itself. And then you can breathe in one direction, breath out in the other. In this case, it doesn't really matter what coordination you're doing, as long as you're not letting yourself arch your back, keep your lower back flat. And from here, we're gonna go and start holding the end ranges. So end range that we tend to be tight in is, in this case, external rotation. We're gonna keep digging down with the elbow, finding that tension in our lat. And we can squeeze the ball and just try to force that outward rotation to the side. If you want, you can place your hand out here and push against it and find that burn inside the shoulder. Another exercise that we can do and we're going to play is the end range of the external rotation, but trying to regress out of it, pushing out into the hand inwards. Again, squeezing the ball is just going to help us create a effective irradiation, which just is intensity in terms of firing the nervous system. So holding about 10 seconds would be ideal to start with. Doing 2-3 sets, you can progress to about 30 seconds of pushing out or in against your own hand as an isometric hold. Eventually, we can play with an elastic to make it a bit more difficult, but right now let's just work on the isometrics. Of course, you got your internal rotation, so you have now to put the elbow a little bit more at the edge of the bench, and you're gonna feel, again, a challenge here. And the challenge is not necessarily how far can you go, it's how far can you go without letting the shoulder come rounded. You wanna make sure it stays low and depressed. You're keeping your lat on and you're pushing into the bench still and trying to get the hand downwards. Squeeze the ball. You're gonna feel that somewhere around here. Maybe it wraps around behind into the back of the shoulder. And relax. And of course, after we've done it just with our body weight and being very conscious of that shoulder, we're gonna place our other hand here and make it an isometric hold, pushing down and pulling up. And again, giving ourselves 10 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, repeating the process and towards the other direction. All right, so once again, this is for strengthening our end ranges of our capsule in terms of how far I can get myself into external or internal rotation. The capsule in itself is a combination of tendons and tissues, which can get tight if the muscle is weak and tight. In this case, we're strengthening the muscle in its lengthened phase. And when I say the muscle, it's really a whole bunch of muscles that we're strengthening in their stretch and short positions. But in this case, the external rotators being short, the internal rotators being long, and in this case, the internal rotators being short and the external rotators being lengthened. So go ahead and try those out. Hope this helps out, at least alleviate some shoulder mobility. Maybe you're a bit more mobile afterwards. Make sure to get into a rhythm of releasing through capsule tension and doing more exercises afterwards before you get into an explosive routine of maybe passing the ball or doing an explosive movement. All right, see you in the next video.